Welcome back to the show. We have Shola Rogers right here in the studio. Shola, good morning. It's good to have you.
Hi, Tayo. It's good to have you. Oh,
Okay.
Cecilia,
It's
hi.
great
How
to
are you?
have
Okay.
I actually didn't say you've been here for so long, so
Yeah,
Okay, you didn't
it
say
takes a
that.
lot of
Okay.
getting used to.
getting used.
Okay, I get that. Accepted. No problem.
All right,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay, I mean, we're starting with a particular drama and all that. It's not really what everyone want to talk about. But then was it Tuesday, right? On Tuesday, we had, there was more like a board meeting, by
Cool.
Athletics Federation of Nigeria in Abuja.
Abuja.
And they said, okay, the president should step down because they want to carry out investigation and all that.
A
And
lot of
then,
allegations that were
lot of
leveled
allegations,
against him.
yeah, absolutely.
So I decided to step aside so they can investigate.
Okay.
Well, yesterday, what
So
happened?
the president, the interview we had with him was that he was talking about ethnicity and and all that. He didn't really address some of the issues in
Then
the
yesterday-
And then yesterday, of course, in Anambra State,
Yeah.
an extraordinary
Ordinary
Congress
Okay.
was actually held, and a communique came out after that, and they all laid down the thing. And what everyone is taking away from that is the fact that they're declaring autonomy from the sports ministry. Okay, this is the resolution after the meeting in
Yeah.
Anambra State and all that, after the extraordinary meeting. They
Agulu.
came out with this, saying the look, from
So-
all indication. Yeah.
So following the resolution by the state chairman at the just concluded AFN Extraordinary Congress, attended by major stakeholders in athletics, the board has decided to declare autonomy from the ministry, citing interference as the major reason. So that's the major takeaway from all these
everything.
you're seeing on your screen. Of course, we can't go through all of them right now, but that's the major takeaway. And how did you react to that when you first heard or saw that declaring autonomy?
The
from
same way I'm
sport
reacting
ministry?
now, Tayo and Sisi,
For people that can't see you,
I'm laughing. I'm actually laughing because it's laughable. I was talking off air with Yemi, and
Right.
we're talking about, and someone tagged it drama. Someone said AFN drama.
Okay.
And it is just what it is. It is drama. You see, I always like to go by laws and rules that govern the game. So if they are empowered to call an extraordinary Congress, then it's okay. If it's done within the
Right.
stipulations of the laws and the constitution of the AFN.
Then
Now,
it's okay.
if the Congress was properly constituted, anything that comes out from that Congress is binding on the AFN members.
On the AFN, okay?
You get. But it is laughable when you declare autonomy. Why do you want to declare autonomy in 2019? Why didn't you declare autonomy after the elections a few years ago? Why didn't you declare it at your last Congress? It shows that there's clearly friction between the Ministry of Sports
Right.
and the AFN. This is expected when there's a change of guard.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that hardly does anybody get into any of these federations
Yeah.
without being friends with the government.
Yeah.
So there's been a change of ministers, and the current AFN do not seem to be friends with this current minister. That's what I can deduce from this, because
like,
you do not need to declare autonomy. The rules are clear. The same way the NFF will always say, oh, interference, FIFA statutes and blah, blah, blah. These statutes are almost the same for almost every federation. But you also know that you go to this same government for funding. You go to this same you can't even hold elections without government getting involved. So on the one hand, you're shouting interference, and you know that virtually all of you got there through government interference, in quotes. So I feel that they're just being dramatic, and
Disingenuous.
they need to be careful. They need to be careful, because when this starts, when the crisis starts, and they are able to prove this interference at the international level, and Nigeria gets suspended, because it looks like that's what some people want,
Yeah.
the athletes will suffer.
Of course.
Nigerian athletes
that's
will
the
suffer.
thing.
The timing of their drama is completely off. At the time when we should be concentrating on the Olympics, we're here trying to perpetuate ourselves in power and everything. So we're going to appeal to them to say, you cannot declare being autonomous. You cannot declare being autonomous from the ministry because of an issue that you have. You want to move to a new office. Those are not problems. You want to do all of those things, go ahead and do them as long as you can fund those things you get.
But does it mean we now have two boards? Because if you check, immediately after the Congress ended, there was also a release coming from the other group that had their own board meeting saying the president should step down. They released that, look, the extraordinary Congress is actually illegal, and they needed to have, inform everyone, give them like 60 days ahead. But the time they got was just 29 days. That's what you talked about
We've
earlier.
had this issue in basketball. Even when it seems like there's a particular group in charge of basketball, the problem hasn't really gone away.
Yeah.
Nope.
We've had this issue in football.
And that's why we don't have league right now. In 2 years, there is no,
a league started, and after one game, it became a tournament. Okay. These are facts. Nobody's trying to say anything other than facts here. Yeah. The same thing in football, where at some point, in the space of like 9 months, we had 3 different NFF presidents, you get. It shows that people are really trying to get power. There's no problem with that. But whatever you're doing, do it within the ambits of the law. Do it within the Constitution. Do not break laws where you're trying to perpetuate yourself or prove something. So, do we have 2 boards? Yes, we do. But should we have 2 boards? No, we shouldn't. So, both boards should go back and sit down in the same room and tell themselves some home truth. We can't continue like this. And it just hurts me that the players, the athletes, and the real people who are involved with getting them ready are now being distracted. And they will not get the attention that they require. Yeah. So they should just cut out all this drama and get back to, really, really, really asking themselves, are we on the right path or not?
Interesting. Okay. 29 states were part of the Extraordinary Congress in Anambra. There was also an official of the CAA as well, to the CEO of the CAA, Confederation of Athletics, Lamine Fati, was there as well too. So that kind of gives credibility, I imagine.
Yeah, if it does give them credibility, and they have come up with all these resolutions, then they should go ahead and push it.
Then we'll see where it takes them to. One more before we leave the AFN and the drama is a sponsorship deal that no one heard before about until recently, the Puma sponsorship deal, which we now know will run from September the 1st, 2019 to December the 31st. Started running already, and it's valued at approximately $2.7 million US.
So let's talk about that briefly before we move on. If you have a sponsorship deal with Puma, worth $2.7 million, right, and that's the impetus to fight government, think again, because there's nothing wrong with bringing private sector, because that's what we've been clamoring for.
Of course.
But you don't burn bridges and you don't go head to head with government. You can never win. No matter what you do, you can never, ever defeat the government.
Okay, I know details of this will continue to come out, especially when we get the full video and pictures of what actually went down at the Congress. Possibly we'll get to hear from those concerned, just saying it, from their own mouth, right?
Okay, let's leave the drama. Let's go and talk about real action, sporting action. The NPFL, Nigeria Professional Football League, there was a rescheduled match played yesterday between Kano and Akwa Starlets. And surprise, surprise, Kano went away from home to get the first win of the season. 2-1. It ended. Yima Mwagwa scored 2 goals for Kano. And the goal coming from Moses Efyonga just ended up being a consolation. First win for Kano in 6 games.
Okay.
I think I know why.
Why you're thinking?
Why shall I?
I'm not impressed
like this.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with what has been happening. Every week we come here, we score the league high, way above, average. And it looks like they made up their mind to mess things up for themselves. Yeah. Look, which team is Akwa Starlets again?
Okay, Akwa Starlets, that's the one. Dakanda.
Can they just Wakanda or Dakanda or whatever they want? Can they just make up their minds? Because this is bad for branding.
No, what they said was that, okay, LMC says, look, they've not finalized the whole thing. I mean, they just brought a letter written to
so why didn't they wait until it was sorted before?
They want to change the name.
I am confused. The one moment is Wakanda and the next moment is Akwa Starlets. Then the other thing is Kano Pillars had
Right.
their captain banned.
There you go. Let's talk about that.
He was banned
He gave
for
the assist for the winning goal.
It's
for
banned.
X number of games. Then someone somewhere
Apologies where,
decides to turn
No,
it
he was
around.
remorseful, and then they said, okay, it's been commuted to suspended sentence, right? So you can actually,
well,
so after
remorseful.
7,
Cecilia is playing
an appeal was made, right?
devil's advocate.
No, really,
here.
that's what happened. An appeal was made, and they said, okay. I mean,
He
he's remorseful,
apologized and showed
apologized
remorse,
and everything.
but
He showed remorse, and
he
they said,
had a
okay,
sentence
suspended
to
sentence
serve.
or not. Now he's back into the squad, and Kano Pillars,
winning.
they've started winning.
They got a
They
draw
actually
away from
needed,
in Jos. They got a draw, now they've got a win. And Shola is clearly not impressed because
I'm not impressed because
what
Can
is
we talk about
preceded
this game? I mean, what it means for Kano Pillars and the fact
it's
that
a
the
good
coach may
it's a
not
good
be fired
result.
right now.
It's a good result for Kano
Pillars.
Pillars.
Obviously.
Because they started the season very poorly.
Yep.
Even at home, the fortress, has been breached. People go there to pick points and even beat them at home and all of that. So this is good for the players. This is good for the Kano Pillars brand.
Yeah.
But what is bad for the league is that you don't just change rules willy-nilly. You understand?
When
You
the
don't
game is
shift the
kicked off already.
goalpost. It's not done. Look, we need to take this thing serious. We want our league to be one of the best. The South African league has started bringing in billions. And we're still here trying to struggle and we're bending rules. Please,
You're
let's
still
get
that.
real with management and let's stop playing around.
It's not playing
Please.
around, not faffing around.
yeah.
That's
Please.
the message from
Precisely,
Shola Rogers this morning. That's over to you to the LMC, the managers of the league. Let's take a look at the table, updated table after Kano Pillars' win yesterday. And that's enough to take them to 15th on the log.
One win out of
6
6.
points from 6 games.
That's Kano Pillars we're
The
talking
Kano
about
Pillars,
right now.
yeah.
And they've lost 2 games this season, drawing a 3. That's the reason they're actually in that position. Yeah, not looking good. But Akwa Starlets, their first loss of the season. I'm surprised why Akwa United are struggling, but Aqua Starlets...
No, but still well placed.
Well placed
Yeah,
at
still
this
third.
particular, still third on the table. Their first loss this season, 2 draws and 3 wins out of 6. That's a remarkable result from Aqua Starlets. Yeah, I know Sholari just still
Let's-
shaking his
let's-
head and all that. He's not
he's
like
not
you
impressed.
just...
No, I've
Let's
moved
go
on.
to what is going to impress you.
I've
Shola.
moved on. I've moved on, actually. I've moved on.
Okay, you moved on.
The log looks really nice, and
Yeah.
I'm still very excited with how Plateau United have
Started.
maintained the momentum.
Yeah.
They hit the ground running, and they have not looked back. I pray that, look, I'm rooting for them now because it looks like they're doing all the right things, and I want them to go all the way.
Just continue. Back to
Okay,
United.
that's still a long way to go, though. It's just
Absolutely.
6
It's
played.
games.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the continent, CAF Awards 2019. Still in January, but CAF released a list yesterday after the first round of voting. So basically, a lot of those shortlists have been pruned now, and we have, for the men's player of the year, Nigeria's Odion Igalo still in contention. Those are the other contenders. So it's gone from 30 to 10. Andre Onana, Hakim Ziyech, Ismail, Vanessa, Khalidu, Koulibaly, Mohamed Salah, Odion Igalo, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Riyad Mahrez, Sadio Mane, and Yusuf Belaili. And that particular list, okay, let's run through the others first before we get Shola's thoughts. Or let's just do it one by one. This particular list is missing Wilfred Ndidi. And do you understand why he's missing a player of that caliber? Probably the best in his position in the world. Cannot make the top 10 for the men's player of the year.
The thing about it is that the role that Ndidi plays is not that glamorous.
It's not the glamorous.
It's not the goal-scoring, flashy kind of role.
But is that enough reason?
People, look, I've come to one conclusion. All these awards are not based on statistics. They are based on sentiments because there are people voting. It's just like Ballon d'Or. Check out how people voted. I had to go look at the back end and I saw how people voted. It's the same thing. People vote based on
They
sentiments.
love the player.
Look,
So-
to me, I keep saying it, in the world today, Sadio Mane, Wilfred Ndidi are the best midfielders currently, based on statistics and facts, you understand. But hey, what do we know?
I can see what you're saying about the glamour. The position is not glamorous. So, but I'm seeing some names here that surely, Ishmael,
You want to go
Benassa.
back to those names again?
Yeah, I mean, some of those names should be on the top 10, regardless of whether that position is glamorous or not. That's
so
my
what's
point.
the criteria? Who are the people
Because
who have been
I mean,
selected
most of the
to
people
do
are
the
actually
shortlist?
strikers.
You know,
Strikers
You get-
and wingers.
You know, some of these awards are actually voted for by coaches and journalists.
And
Some
forward
are
players
voted
are
by
picking.
voted for by captains. You know, I'm talking about different awards and
Okay.
different criteria.
Yeah.
You start to look at, okay,
But-
who are the people voting and why are they voting for these people? Most times it's based on sentiments.
Okay, Tayo,
Let's
leave
go
it
to
there.
the Women's
Yeah.
Player of the Year. Can we just
Okay.
run through the others? Women's Player of the Year. Those are the names nominated. Now 5 of them. Of course, there's Asisa Oshola on the list. The Youth Player of the Year, of course. You have Nigeria's Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chukwueze. Of course, there's Ashraf Hakimi as well. The Men's Coach Player of the Year. The Kenneth Roy has been dropped and has been cut from this particular
Obviously.
list.
Yeah.
For obviously, okay.
For obvious reasons.
Women's Coach of the Year, interestingly, still has Thomas
Thomas.
Denaby, formerly of Nigeria, now
Obviously.
in India. Obviously as well.
Obviously.
Mm, obviously, yeah. it's gonna be there.
The awards will be given out in January, like I said, and we hope Nigerian,
Men's national team
National
of the
team
year.
as well, too.
Nigeria
The
is
way
still
is
there.
the way is just on the screen
that's
there.
the way it's
That's
going
the way
to
it's
end.
going to end. But I think Senegal should be above. I mean, Senegal
What
should
about
come
the
second.
women's national team?
I'm just concerned about the one on top.
Okay, the one, we're not
How
looking
about
at the
this
others,
one?
right?
Women's national team, no, the one in the middle.
In the middle
go
should
to
be
the top.
at the top.
The one
okay.
with the N, Nigeria, I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll should go to the top.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
All right.
wait for it to be prone down to 3, and then we
Right.
can do the final analysis
Of
and all that.
course. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
English Premier League.
Okay. Yes. What happened last night? I mean, it
Results
was-
of the games,
results
first
of
of
the
all,
games
yeah.
first. Okay.
Quite a few.
Interesting result. But the good thing is almost all the teams playing at home. They all won. Like, okay, what happened?
Good. Take
And
care
then-
of home
yeah,
court or
that's
home-
what you do.
home
And
turf.
Chelsea bounced back from that loss to West Ham, and they had to win at home.
They
Aston
had to.
Villa, they tried, but then it just wasn't to be. Leicester City, of course,
Still flying.
still flying when you have Madison and also Jamie Vardy. You're sure to get a win. Watford, the coach has been fired, but then they're still losing. Manchester United and Tottenham, wow.
2-1, that's the
United
big game of
sometimes
the
when they're
night.
playing the big teams, so to speak, well, right now, United is not part of the big teams, right? You agree with me, right? Okay,
Well,
so I'll continue. So when they're
they're
playing
still-
the big teams, they tend to win.
They're still traditionally top 6 based on
Traditionally.
how
Historically.
traditionally and historically
Yeah.
and whatever league. The truth is that they started this season as a Big 6 team, and they are
They-
on paper a Big 6 team.
Even though they've been out of it for-
they've been
But
out of
that-
it because of the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
It's been shambolic and all of that, and good result for
Good
them.
result for them. The other
Southampton,
matches-
yeah, back-to-back wins.
Fantastic.
Yeah, which is good for...
Good for Hassan Hotel.
Hassan Hotel.
Yeah.
Ah, nice name. And then you saw the one, Liverpool and
Liverpool.
Everton, Merseyside.
Look,
derby. That wasn't a derby. That was like a beat down, right?
It used to be
It
a
was a
derby.
derby.
It used to
It's
be a
still a
derby.
derby.
No, it's not.
It's
not a
okay,
derby
it's not a
anymore.
derby
It's a
result.
local
like,
derby.
it's-
No, because
it's not a
derbies,
result.
when it comes to a derby,
Yeah.
form is thrown out of the window. You know, it's down to this guy is our neighbor and we know him
goodness.
very well.
And we're
But
gonna
look,
give it up.
It was one-way traffic. This was Liverpool without 1 or 2 players
Yeah.
still firing on all cylinders. I never dreamt of the day that I would see a Merseyside
kind of
derby
score.
go this way.
5-2,
You know,
yeah.
look, it
So
was a
one-sided.
morning.
Yeah.
It was the Sadio Mane show.
Show.
Again. You know, I told
What
you
a
how
player.
phenomenal that guy is.
No,
right?
yeah, of course.
So
I think a lot of
look,
people agree.
Look, it's not a derby
Okay,
anymore.
shall I
And
change it now?
Everton must confirm that their coach has
So
been
everything
sacked.
should just pack and leave
that's
Liverpool,
why it's
right?
now a
Yeah.
So they should just
They should
leave
move.
Liverpool. Move.
Everything needs to move
They
out
go-
of
they should
Liverpool.
go-
Space is wide as...
They should
okay.
go to London or somewhere. man.
Somewhere in between.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now our star match of the night is
Yeah.
actually the one between Manchester United and Tottenham
Tottenham.
Hotspur. Why? Because of the return of
Jose.
Jose Mourinho and the fact that United, a little bit of depleted squad and all that, knowing Pogba has been injured
been
for
out
like
forever.
forever.
Yeah.
And of course, Marcia, he plays 2 games and the next thing he's injured, so he was also out. And of course, Jose came. I mean, the reception was wonderful. He expected that and everything. And just look at him shaking hands with some of the players. This is a player he actually wanted, and he wasn't given.
He wasn't given.
And
And
that-
that
Well,
cost him so
But
much.
Rashford is the man
story,
right now.
The story
Meltdown.
about him and Maguire is that he was actually the one that didn't do the proper negotiations, and That's why they didn't get him.
And Rashford was the guy who gave them the
Star of the show.
Star of the show. And of course,
Rashford
Son
at the
was
double.
a little bit, he tried his best, but
Yeah.
he just wasn't enough. And Dele Ali, that's
What a
the man. I mean,
strike.
what
The real
a
Dele
player
Ali.
is out.
The real
The
Dele
Jose
Ali.
has
Dele
unleashed
Ali.
him,
Not his
right?
brother, not his crap
Not his
brother.
cousin or brother.
That can't play nothing.
or his avatar. The real Dele Ali.
What a
Isn't
strike that was.
This guy is something
I was
else.
actually praying the VAR didn't cancel that goal when
Yeah.
they were checking it out. Anyways, let's go on our final break now. When we come back, we'll get to listen to Jose Mourinho's post-match thoughts as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Stay with us.